Hello, everyone. I hope that you are doing very well. My name is Jessy Hernández, and I'm delighted to present this webinar in which I share some ideas on how to use authentic materials in your language class, integrating social emotional learning and content based learning principles while helping our students learn the language in a meaningful way. So, let's begin. Let's begin with a video. Please feel relaxed and enjoy it.
I'm a new soul, I came to this strange world hoping I could learn a bit about how to give and take. But since I came here, felt the joy and the fear, finding myself making every possible mistake. La 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 la. Strange world, hoping I could learn a bit about what is true and fake. But while these hate try to communicate, finding trust and love is not always easy to make. La 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 This is a happy end, 'cause you don't understand everything you have done. Why is everything so wrong? This is a happy end, come and give me your hand, I'll take you far away. I'm a new soul, I came to this strange world hoping I could learn a bit about how to give and take. But since I came here, felt the joy and the fear, finding myself making every possible mistake. New soul, la 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 la, in this very strange world.
The video that we just watched is an example of an authentic material as defined by Jeremy Harmer in the practice of English language teaching. It is language where no concessions are made to foreign speakers. It's no adapted material. It's like normal, natural language used by native or competent speakers of the language. And this is what our students will encounter or will encounter in real life. So the idea here is that we search for materials that our students can find interesting and meaningful, and that we design sequences of activities to guide students to the comprehension and to the development of communicative skills. Okay, so when we think of the design of a didactic sequence, we think of a series of activities that guide students from activities that imply a lower level of cognitive effort to higher order thinking skills. So when we talk about lower order thinking skills, we can mention the processes of recalling, understanding, applying knowledge, like using information in in different situations. And then when we move towards the development of higher order thinking skills, we think about activities that require students to identify relationships between different components of a whole, and then evaluating or examining information and making judgments. For example, co-evaluation would be an example of this activity. And finally, the creation of something new, using information to create something new. So in the following minutes, I will show you a proposal that I of a sequence that I designed based on the book that we watched, about how to be happy. Yes, so this would be my suggestion for a didactic sequence based on the book "Be Happy" by Monica Sheehan that we just watched before. The first activity would be a brainstorming activity. Depending on the level of the students, we would share one question or two with them. So, with basic students, for example, we could give them the prompt, I am happy when. Yes, so I am happy when, so that they just complete the idea. I am happy when my mom hugs me, or I am happy when I go to the movies. I am happy when um, I read my favorite book. I don't know. They would come up with as many examples as they want. So there are like different ways in which we can carry out this activity. If we have access um, to technology at school, we can develop this activity in a in a in an application or a web page such as Menti or Poll Everywhere. With those applications, you just give students a code and students can participate from their phones. If you don't have access to technology at school, well, you can ask them to come to the board, yeah, and write down like their the complement for that sentence. I am happy, or I feel happy when, and then they complete the ideas with different mm, the idea with different ideas. Okay, so this would be like the first activity, brainstorming. This would give like teacher the opportunity to see how well they are doing with vocabulary. And okay, so after this activity, now students are familiar with the topic and with some vocabulary. Then we would do the reading activity, and for this, students would watch the video. So this is a book made into a video. They just like added like some background music. I particularly like the song a lot. And it's also related to the topic. So we would do the reading. I usually ask my students to read like just for to enjoy the book. I don't. I ask them not to worry about understanding all, but just getting like the main ideas. And this book is illustrated, so it makes it easier for students to understand, even if they don't recognize some vocabulary. So this would be like the second stage. Students would get to read the book with, and the second time they would be like with the guide of the teacher, they would go like page by page, seeing if they understand all the vocabulary. The teacher would have to ask students to tell them whether everything is clear or not, and it would be a good idea also to give like some feedback on the contents of each page. After that, I suggest that we do some like reflective questions, some questions that guide our students to reflect on their own life. Yes, so the type of questions that I'm incorporating here are like the following. What are you good at? Do you usually practice that activity? Do you usually try to do things differently? Do you enjoy hanging around with others, or do you prefer to be alone? And then I will incorporate some questions in past. Yes, so when was the last time you pampered yourself? When was the last time that you were amazed? When was the last time that you visited a person that you love? When was the last time that you helped someone? When was the last time that you danced, that you faced the fear, that you went to a museum, when you made an important decision, when you got in touch with nature? When was the last time that you read something you love? So at this moment or at this stage, you would like to introduce some verbs in past, yeah, and the structure of questions so that you help students to understand what you're asking. Yes, would be also like an introduction to simple past, and then well you would um, help them with some prompts to to give you their answers. So depending on the level of the students, you would like to design this activity as a poll. Mhm. And you give the answers already, yeah, or a brief questionnaire, and you give them the options, and they just have to cross or to choose the option, yeah. Or you would like them to write longer answers, and but this would depend on the level of your students. So the last activity that I suggest for this sequence is to create a poster, asking students to create a poster with some strategies to make them feel happier. Mhm. So I know students are super creative and they would come up with amazing ideas and great posters. You would like to ask them to bring some materials, magazines, and um, cutouts or different like markers to create their own posters. Yeah, so this class, depending on the level of students, would take um, from 2 to 4 hours. Yeah, so this you would like to extend this activity a little bit more, and I mean you can also integrate writing, which would be amazing, and even speaking if you want to. Yes, so this is an example of an activity based on authentic material. I know that in some schools we use books, we use textbooks. I have nothing against textbooks, but um, once that you follow your sequence in the textbook, it would be a good idea to incorporate a an authentic material based activity for students to to be doing something that they find um, meaningful. You could even ask them about the types of books that they like reading, so that you choose something that is related. Yes, and I would suggest adding this at the end of each unit. That would be great for students to have this type of activities. I mean, nowadays we have like a lot of materials available thanks to the internet. My dad is an English teacher. I remember that I mean, only people with access to cable TV had the chance to have access to to programs in English, and this was like authentic material. And what my dad did sometimes was that he recorded in tapes, yeah, like the some programs, and I enjoyed watching those recordings. But it was difficult. I mean, you needed like this VHS recorder and these big tapes. And nowadays it's like a lot easier for us to find materials. I mean, you can find um, podcasts if you prefer listening. You can find videos if you prefer like listening and watching at the same time, and um, books, books and articles that are available for free. Um, okay, so this is my suggestion of a sequence based on this beautiful book, "Be Happy" by Monica Sheehan, and in a minute I will explain the relationship to social emotional skills. Now I will share with you a definition of social emotional learning by the Collaborative for Academic Social and Emotional Learning, CASEL, which is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make responsible and caring decisions. The interesting thing here is that how we can link the development of social emotional skills to the learning of a language. It's something that I like very much about being an English teacher, that we can like integrate different things and help our students become better people with what we are teaching. So I like the integration of these skills very much, and I would like you to integrate this into your teaching as well, because I mean every person likes to be heard. Every person feels likes to feel special, and it's great when we do this in an English class to to make their to make our students speak up, yeah, to speak their minds, say what they think, say how they feel. So this is great. There are five main social emotional skills, which are the following. The first of them is self awareness, which refers to understanding ourselves better, learning who we are, what our feelings are, what our strengths and weaknesses are, and also about setting our goals and establishing specific plans to achieve them. So, for example, the activity that I carried out based on the book "Be Happy" was an activity to develop these skills, self awareness, because students are reflecting. I mean, they are communicating their ideas, they are exchanging ideas, but at the same time, they are um, reflecting on their own feelings, on how they are. Yeah, so um, this is the social emotional learning skills being developed. And I could think of some other activities to practice this skill. For example, writing an autobiography, yes, and um, that would be a good idea to reflect on ourselves, on our personality, and on our history also. So this would be a good strategy to practice um, in the language classroom. So the second skill is self-management, which is about managing your emotions, using self-control, and also about using study skills effectively. I like this one very much because students who have developed study skills are successful students. So if we, I don't know, once or twice in a semester try to teach some study skills to students, that would be great for them. No, trying to share them how to use different diagrams to organize ideas, etc., or how to write a summary. Sometimes we ask students to write summaries, but we do not teach them or do not guide them on how to write a good summary. So this would be a good idea as well. So the third one is social awareness, which is about advancing knowledge, skills, and attitudes to connect with others. This is very, very important because sometimes some people or some students find it hard to be empathetic and respectful towards others. So this is important in creating some cards or some posters about values to to develop in the classroom or to build in the classroom. That this would be a good idea to strengthen this area of social awareness. Yes, being respectful, being able to be empathetic, and, and try to understand others because we have different backgrounds and we have like different needs. We are all different, so this one is also important. Um, then we have relationship skills, which is about developing effective communication skills and showing kindness to others. Body language is an important factor here. Sometimes people show with gestures all that they are feeling, and sometimes we cannot hide that. Yes, so sometimes this body language could hurt people. So we should try to try to show kindness um, as frequently as possible. Yes, because we might hurt other people. So I mean, this is body language, but you could also use this topic to in a class discussion. Yes, and And finally, we have decision making skills, which is all about making responsible decisions as well as cultivating healthy habits and healthcare. I like this topic as well because, um, as we saw in the video um, in Be Happy, we should try to pamper ourselves more. Have you ever asked yourselves, when was the last time that you pampered yourself? So probably with all the things that we have to do, we forget about this aspect, which is important. So we should also try to bring this topic to the class and try to make students reflect on that point. Um, Guide them towards doing activities that imply self care and their healthcare as well. Yeah, because it's a lot better to take care of yourself when you are healthy, and try to pamper ourselves a little bit. So these are like the five great skills that mm, are part of social emotional learning. And okay, so the greatest thing as I guess I already told you this, but the greatest thing is that English teachers, we can incorporate all these topics and we can bring all this reflection to our language classrooms, and not only will our students be developing communication skills, but also social emotional skills, which is, both are lifelong skills. So it would be great for you to try to incorporate these topics in class. Another example of incorporating social emotional learning can be introducing brain breaks, which are activities we can do to relax from continuous work. So we stop what we're doing and we recharge some energy. So this can be useful for your students to relieve their stress or anxiety and to enhance their creativity and to keep them to help them focus on what they are doing. Yes, so for example, if your class lasts 2 hours, you can do some brain breaks after the first 15 minutes. And well, and I will share some examples with you in a moment. Okay, so this is an example of a brain break, and it's called the ear nose switcheroo. You can see the instructions on the screen, so you have all the steps there. So it's basically doing this, and then you change, and then you change, and then you change. So it helps you focus. Yes, so it might be very useful for your students. And you can incorporate this when you are teaching body parts and imperatives. Additionally, you could probably bring some breathing exercises or yoga exercises depending on your group of students. A good idea could be to bring the instructions in small pieces of paper, hand them into your students, and you go outside and practice this as many times as possible. And and yeah, these are a good idea. And so that students remember about the vocabulary and things, you would like to try this once a week at least, so that they can learn the both the process and the exercises. And you should also make them reflect on identifying when they need to do a brain break, when they are feeling to identify when they are feeling like overloaded, or when um, mm, they are anxious or they are feeling under stress, so that they can stop and take a breath and do some breathing exercises or do some brain breaks, so that they can feel relieved. Yeah, so this is also a very, very good idea. An approach to language teaching that incorporates the use of authentic materials is content based learning. For this approach, people learn a second language more successfully when they use language as a means of understanding content, but meaningful content. So, in this sense, content should be chosen based on the learner's needs for learning a second language or a foreign language. I know of some cases of graduate students who face some difficulties when it comes to communicating in English at work. So it is a daunting task for language teachers and subject teachers. We have to work collaboratively so that we come up with specific programs to prepare students for work. Um, Needs analysis should be conducted, and um, I think if we start incorporating some activities based on content and on specific skills or communication skills for work, um, this would be a great idea. Um, Another important principle of content based learning is that as students develop their knowledge on content, they develop their communication skills and their cognitive skills as well. So at this point, I would like to highlight an important point by Stephen Krashen, which is the optimal input hypothesis. This says that we acquire language and develop literacy from input, from understanding what we hear or what we read. Um, so this input should have these four characteristics. Mhm. Number one, it should be comprehensible, so that students should be able to understand like main ideas, um, even though there might be some incomprehensible parts, but still students um, should be able to build from what they know and learn new language. It should also be compelling or interesting. Yeah, students should find input meaningful. Christian says that it should be so interesting that you temporarily forget that it's in another language. So imagine that. Um, it should be rich, that the language included in the input also gives the reader support in understanding and therefore acquiring new knowledge. And finally, he highlights the quantity. He says that it takes a lot of comprehensible, compelling, rich input to make real progress. So students should be like in touch with the language as much as possible so that they keep learning. Um, I would also like to mention that Krashen often shares his own experience of moving from advanced beginner to high intermediate in French via pleasure reading. So by being like by doing this activity, he has been able to develop his um, his language skills in French. So he is he is highly optimistic of pleasurable reading. So yeah, um, the input that we choose should be as meaningful for students so that they find learning uh, appealing. If you scan this code, you can go to the full talk by Stephen Krashen on optimal input hypothesis, and I am sure you will enjoy it as much as I did. So some of the strategies that we can incorporate here are case studies, problem solving, and project-based learning. Let's think of a school. Let's say at the law school, students, for example, can be given certain criminal or civil cases, which they can then be asked to analyze based on specific um, criteria. And then they could carry out a debate on the solutions that could be given to this case, to this case or cases. You could ask them to work in groups and give each group a different case, and then they can present it to the whole group. At the tourism school, students can be given situations or certain problems that need to be solved at hotels so that they can come up with different alternatives and or solutions. But before that, you should give them the whole process that they would have to follow to analyze the problem, to do research on ways to solve the problem, and then present the alternatives. Um, and this would be just a few examples of how to incorporate this in the classroom. I know that being a language teacher is a challenge, but it is also a great opportunity for all of us to help our students grow in a holistic way. We can encourage them to develop social emotional skills, cognitive skills, as well as communicative skills in a foreign language, which will be useful for their whole life. So, thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you have found this talk inspirational.